I never told a single person about this, but 2 weeks later, Jesus amazed me. I'm Jim Tucker, and welcome to Jim Tucker's Journey. At this time, I had been in church a little more than a year. This true story I'm about to tell you happened more than 50 years ago. One night, as I was lying in bed, I was listening to soft Christian music, and then a commercial came on, and they were advertising about two family Bibles, a black one and a white one. They had pictures in them. They were eloquent kind of Bibles. And I remember my grandma. She had a big family Bible. It sat on her end table. And many times when I would go over and visit with her, she would take time sometime during the day to sit down, and I would crawl up in her lap and she'd place that big Bible. It was huge for my little legs. And she would set it on my legs, and I would open it up, and it had big, pretty pictures in it. And I would point at a picture, and she would tell me a Bible story. That's how I learned most of the Bible stories that I know today. Now, getting back to my testimony. As I lay there listening, I still remember the name of the publishing company today. It's called Zondervan Bibles. So when the music came back on, I said, Lord, I sure would like to have one of those Bibles. And I didn't think much about it until one Sunday, about 2 weeks later. A dear brother, his name is Carl King, and you'll hear me speak about him in several of these testimonies because he was such a blessing to me, and God used him in such a way to be a blessing to me. And I don't know why the Lord chose him to do that, but it amazed me every time of how I would know that God would listen to even the simple things that I said, and he would cause things to happen, and Brother Carl King would just be there. It was amazing to me. He came up to me and he said, Brother Jim, he said, come out to my truck. I have something out there I want you to see. Now, I had no idea what he was up to. And when he opened the passenger door, there were two Bibles sitting on the seat, one white and one black. And he said, Brother Jim, pick out which one you want. I stood there. I was amazed. And my mind went back to 2 weeks earlier when I was laying in bed listening to the music and the commercial came on. And I said, I sure would like to have one of those Bibles, Lord. And that wasn't all. As I began to look through the Bible on the seat there, the publishing company was Zondervan Bibles. And I began to weep because only the Lord heard me say it. I hugged Brother Carl King and I told him the whole story, how God had used him to answer prayer for a young country boy, just 18 years old. Now this is just one of many testimonies I want to share with you. I have many. And with that, I just want to say thank you for joining me on Jim Tucker's Journey. It has been a pleasure spending time with you today. May the Lord Jesus bless you and your precious family. And until next time, we'll walk a little further down memory lane, because I know each of you have a story to tell.